All right, everybody. I hope that you're doing well. I'm not going to be on here long. I have a lot of things to do. But when I say that I am excited, I am excited. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we have been praying for. And this is what myself, my team have been preparing for. And we are here in Rochester, New York for Unrobe. For any person who knows me, you know that I am the type of person who wants to see people made well. Not only healed, but I want people to be well. I want people to be whole in their bodies, in their mind, in their soul, and in their spirit. And one of the things that I have realized is that in order to make that happen, you are the person is going to have to put some effort or some work into that deliverance. I was sharing earlier, me and my armor bearer, we were talking, and we were just talking about how it's up to each person to basically man, or well, I like to say, manage their deliverance. When we accept Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, what that does is that puts us in a position to be heaven bound, right? But what do you do while you are walking on this earth? There are so many hurting people today. There's people that, sometimes I hear people talk about other people, about how mean they may be or how they may have a nasty attitude, stuff like that. But the reason why is because some people they don't like themselves. Some people are hurting from the inside, and they don't know how to get well. They don't know how to tap into their area of freedom. A lot of times, I see people camouflage their hurt, their pain. They make themselves busy so that they don't have to deal with that person. Because as long as you're busy, as long as you're working, as long as you are clocking in and clocking out and running around doing 20 things, you don't have time to look at you. You don't have time to fix you. You don't have time to notice you. Now you may hear other people talk about you, but you don't have time to do the proper maintenance that's required in order for you to go to the next level. So what happens is, you know, people have to be taught that in order, excuse me, yeah, hold on one second, get something to drink. Hold on. As you see, I'm in my hotel room, okay? So just hold on one second. All right. In order to maintain that form of deliverance, again, there has to be work and there has to be an awareness that something is wrong. So that's why we unroll. We unroll, and if you've been following me, then you have heard me talk about how in 2009, I asked God to send people to me that was going to be transparent, to show me, because as a single woman in ministry, I wanted to know what is it really like? How is it going to be far as ministering, being a divorcee? How is it going to be? You know, how should I handle the life challenges? And it's just me. I really believe that the Lord was letting me know I'm not sending people to you, but I'm going to send you to people. And with that, I didn't get mad at the fact that people wasn't coming to assist me, but I couldn't understand the depths of it really up until recently. Now I understand. There were just some things that I had to go through on my own. I had to see God move in a certain way on my own that I didn't think that I had to go through or I had to experience, if that makes sense. This is right. Um, so when I say unrobe, I'm talking about exposure, but not only exposure for shame, but exposure in a form of vulnerability. As I've said before, if you've been following me, then you would notice that when I talk about unrobe, I talk about how one time after service, one of my armor bearers, she was unrobing me. She was unzipping my robe. And when she did, I noticed how she saw all the sweat, you know, um, just everywhere in my shirt and my undergarments. But she didn't care. But as long as my robe was covering me, no one else knew how badly I had been sweating. And so that's why I say you don't have to expose me. I will expose myself. You don't have to talk about me or what you think about me or even dig up my past. You don't have to go through all that. That's too much work. I can save you the time by exposing myself a vulnerability to say, yeah, I admit I had a bad attitude at one time. I admit I battle with rejection, and I know that we like to talk about rejection and stuff. But to be honest, there's a lot of us who battle with rejection. It's just how do we handle it? What does rejection look like on you? It may look different on you than it may look like on somebody else. So we know there's the spirit of rejection and the fear of rejection. So regardless of what area a person may struggle in, I know about it. As a young girl who got pregnant at an early age, I would tell anybody it wasn't an accident when I got pregnant. I got pregnant with my first child, the Austin, because I wanted to feel love. Now, did that mean that my mom didn't love me? Did that mean that my aunts and my grandma and my sister didn't mean they didn't love me? No, that's not what it meant. It just meant that there was something on the inside of me that felt like I needed more at a teenager. I wanted love in a certain way and attention in a certain way to where I was like, shoot, I'm going to have me a child and I'm going to make him love me. That's my attitude. I was trying to heal an area that was hurt, but at the time, we wasn't talking about stuff like this. All we knew to do was go to church every Sunday as a youth. You worked the church every fifth Sunday. You participated in the duties that they will allow kids to participate in, and that was it. But far as talking about the depths and the hurt of being raised by a single mother or being raised by your grandmother and your aunts. Conversations was not discussed. So yes, coming up as a teenage mom with childhood issues, thinking that I wasn't enough for my family, wasn't enough for my peers, to the point to where I felt like, well, if I had a child, I would be more than enough because I would need to be enough for him. And to be honest, when I look back on it, even though my child was not a mistake because I wanted him, the purpose of me wanting him was was really the reasons was all wrong. You know, I couldn't make him love me. That was something he would grow to do. You know, of course he loves his mom, but the attempt to make him fill the void that I was missing from my father, from my mother, from other friends and other things, in my life, whatever. That was wrong. And that was a lot of weight to put on an unborn child at the time. And I'm just being honest with you, but that's how I felt. So when I talk about unrobing, when you see our flyer, which is now the face of unrobe, so everything that you will see moving forward will be this face of unrobe. The rejection, the hurt, the jealousy, the envy, the mental crisis. All those things. And I've taken some things off over the years, but regardless, when you see those things, the face of unrobe, it's because I've experienced some of those things. And not only me, but there's a lot of other people and not just women. I don't want people to think that unrobe is just for women. Unrobe is for any individual who needs healing. Okay. Unrobe is for any person who has said that I am tired of being something that I'm not supposed to be, or be in a position that I'm not supposed to be in, or feeling stuck when I know that God has called me to go to another level. You know, that's who Unrobe is called for. Originally I made it, or it was set up for leaders, because as a leader, it's hard for us to be vulnerable because there's so much competition. Yes, even in the church, there's so much competition. If you don't know the right people, it's like doors of opportunities. they seem to be closed off to you. If you don't have this, if you don't have that, nobody knows you, nobody recognizes your name. But when you unrobe, you learn to love you, even when people don't want to recognize you. And that's why I tell people, listen, just because somebody don't know you, it doesn't mean that you don't exist. You know, if I were to say applesauce, pinto beans, black eyed peas. You may say, well, I don't know what that is. You may not know, but again, it doesn't mean that they don't exist. And they do exist. And a lot of times as a people, we get so caught up far as who know us and who wants to be around us. If you're around people and you feel like they don't want to be around you, then you have to make a decision, right? But then you have to also ask yourself why you're making the decision. Are you the reason why they don't want to be around you? You know, are you the reason why, or is it just here? Has it gotten in your heart? Are you allowing yourself to reject the very thing that God has called you to? And these are the things that we expose when we go through unrolled sessions. Unrolled session is not your traditional church setting. It is not where yes, we may have a little bit of music, but it's not to where we shout to where we fall out. No, I need you to be well awake. I need you to be conscious. I need you to be alert. I need for you to what? Be able to be in agreement and be held accountable for your deliverance. Because as I said earlier, yes, you may be saved and everything, but your deliverance is your responsibility. It is up to you to maintain your form of deliverance. So there's no more going back and forth because we are living in a time to where, as I said earlier, and I'm going to get to this other great thing, but earlier, myself and my armor bearer, we were on a TV station here in New York. I was asked to come, and they wanted to know what was the goal, what was the purpose of Unroad coming all the way from North Carolina to Rochester, New York. Well, we have a lot of things to say about that, but one of the things I wanted the people to know is that it doesn't matter whether you are in North Carolina, South Carolina, California, Hawaii, New York. There's hurting people, and people are not running to the doors of the church like they used to when they're hurt. People are turning to certain things, and now those things have become a substance abuse. People have gone to other things, and now they have what lost their identity, or they don't know who they are. So they instead of running to the church, they are running away and trying to find a solution to their problem. And what it has done was not only, or what it has done is not only taken them out of the face of God, but it has removed them from the opportunity of discovering the real reason why they are here. And that's just the trick of the enemy. But even if you just exclude the enemy for a moment, there's some things that we are accountable for. You are accountable for your level of happiness. And I know that you have not been taught that. And this is why in relationships and even on our jobs, we hold the next person responsible for making us happy. But how can you hold somebody happy, or how can you hold somebody accountable for making you happy when they're not happy? You're not going to see too many people walk around saying, I'm not happy, I'm not happy, right? You're not going to see that because we like to make up our face. We like to make sure our hair is good. We like to make sure we are in designer clothes. We want to make sure that we're driving the nicest ride. We want to make sure our homes, are on top. So we like to hide, and we have done that so well as a culture of people. And it doesn't matter about the color of your skin. Every person. It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, green, purple, yellow, blue, or orange. You have made it. We have made it very easy to hide behind hurt. But this is the day of freedom. You don't have to any longer. You don't have to stay somewhere where you don't want to be. Like I said, you're the one that's responsible and accountable for your level of happiness, for your level of joy, for your level of fulfillment. Listen, before you go out and try to be the best that you know how to be, you need to first learn how to love you. Don't try to be good for somebody else and you can't even be good to yourself. And you have to examine what that looks like. And that's what Unrobe does. Unrobe makes you, you know, Be honest with yourself. Do you want to be healed? That was something that Jesus would ask. Listen, do you want to be made whole? Forget all the excuses. Forget about what your mama did, what your daddy didn't do. Forget about what your first husband did. Forget about what your second husband done. Forget about what your first wife did. Forget about what your second wife done. Forget about what the kids did. Forget about what the dog done. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to be made whole, or are you willing to hold on to your excuses? Now, it's easy to hold on to your excuses because they're comfortable. But this is the thing, you can hold on to your excuses, but then you have to ask yourself, who wants to be around you and your excuses? Again, I know we talk about mental health. I know that. And that's why we're here. This is why we launched Unrobe in '09, because we understand that as a church, it's more to it than singing and hollering. We understand that there is a place where we can go to where yes, we can feel all of the glory on Sunday, but then when Monday comes, there are people who want to give, who wants to end their lives. You know, people are committing suicide. People are murdering, their spouses, or murdering their loved ones, or just innocent people because of something that has been on the inside that they did not feel that they were able to expose it so they could be healed. So when somebody comes to you and say that they're hurting, don't say just get over it. Don't just say, "Oh, you'll be all right." Don't just look at them as if that they can handle all. And even if they are handling all, don't just look at the person and say, "Oh, you're so strong." You know, I used to hear that even with me raising my two children by myself. No, I'm not strong. I don't want to. I mean, I am strong, but there are times in my life where I did not want to be strong. I had to be strong. Why? Because I had two children who did not ask to come into this world, but I brought them in. You understand? So it's not so much that, oh, you so strong that you can handle anything. I'm strong because I have to be. But there's been times in my ministry, there's been times in my walk of life where I wanted to get in a corner and get in a fetal position. And to be honest, I have. I have at least two times in 17 years, this October, 17 years, where I've cried and I've been like, God, I don't want to do this. Help me. But then he would either show me a picture of someone, or I just get my back, you know? But there are some people who's not strong enough to bounce back. So we can't overlook people. We can't think that people got it together just because, oh, well, that's Apostle Barnett. Apostle Barnett cried too. I have feelings too. Now, I may manage my stuff differently, but it's only because I know that I'm accountable and I'm responsible for my happiness, for my level of joy, and definitely my level of peace. But for those who have not got to that place of maturity, this is why Kingdom Living Ministries, that's why we're here. That's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why we're setting up where we're setting up. That's why we're planting in the areas where we're planting. This is why we make it known that we're here to help restore mankind back to God. And with that, our identity, or the way we look, the way we present things, it's going to look different from the traditional church. Because, like I said today on TV, I don't believe in tradition. I'm not a traditional type of person. The company I keep, we're not traditional people, but we do have the same thing in mind, and that is restoring God's people back to Him, no matter what that looks like. So that if that means that we have to go out here into these streets to witness to somebody who may have gotten on drugs, or they're battling with drugs. Well, we have to go out here into these clubs and hang out with the people. Call it what you want to call it. Call it what you want to call it. But there are still God's people. If we have to go out here and talk to the homeless person, and make sure not only that they have clothes or shoes, or redirect them to resources, but talking to them to make sure that they feel like a human being, then hey, let us do it and let us look foolish in your eyes while we do it. Because every person, every person should have an opportunity to see how God operates. And God operates through us differently. So when I say restore mankind back to God, what we're doing is we're going in and getting into the face of the people who are saying, I would never ever join a church again, or I would never ever be caught in the face of again. We're there to help people. We're there to talk people through their process. Okay, what's bothering you? Okay, 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 it happened then. Okay. So not only are we helping them through the process, but we're giving them tools on how to maintain in our absence. See, the problem with a lot of people is that they either don't want you to help them, or if they do get you to help them, they want you to keep helping them. And we cannot be a crutch to people. We have to move on, right? And this is why you build up people so that they can help build up other people. This is why I love my ministry. I love the people that God has given me because they know I can't do it by myself, and I know I can't do it by myself. That's why I'm quick to say, "Hey, I'll kick you out there in the water. I ain't gonna let you drown, but I'm gonna kick you out there." Why? Because if I gotta be in New York, who's going to take care of Gastonia? Or who's going to take care of Philadelphia? Or who's going to take care of Louisiana? Or who's going to take care of, in Korea? Who's going to do all these areas or just whatever, and I'm just saying some stuff, but who's going to take care of these other areas? I can't be everywhere. I'm not God. I'm just a vessel who have said yes. And every day I'm saying yes. All right. So I wanted to share that with you. But another thing I want to share with you is today, I had the honor and the privilege to be asked to be a part of, to be part of an interview session on Fox News. And when I was told that somebody wanted to hear from this teenage mother, straight out of Gastonia, born from Kings Mountain, but straight out of Gastonia, church in Gastonia, I was like, okay, God, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you saying? What do you want? But then God reminded me that a lot of times we put a lot of emphasis in our character areas or the people that we know. We put a lot of effort, energy, in thinking that they are going to believe in us. When sometimes people do and just don't tell you. And then sometimes people just don't because they don't know what to look for. But then God was allowing me to see how if I have to take y'all from this city, this state, to somewhere else for exposure for the good, then let it be. Because the platform that most people see me on is Christian based. But God knows me. I can talk to those who are Christians. I can talk to those who are Muslims. I can talk to those who say, hey, I can't stand the church. I can talk to anybody. And being around anybody does not make me like them. And I believe God knows that. And that's why He chose to put me not just on Facebook, not just going through Instagram or any other social media platform, but He put me on the news because He knew that the audience would be broader than the Christian community because I'm not afraid to talk to those people. I'm not afraid to talk to anybody who looks different. And that's what God can trust when it comes to me. So I'm humbled to say we did the interview this morning. They wanted to promote Unrobe for us, and the reason for us coming from North Carolina all the way to New York to help release some healing to people. And I'm forever grateful for that. In the midst of that, I'm grateful for the doors that has closed in my life, the people who have walked out of my life, and for just the opportunities that I thought was necessary, but it wasn't the right time. I'm very grateful. And the reason why I say I'm grateful because if you can continue to heal, and to stay on the path that God has you on, you're going to reach the mark, y'all. And I pray that this is encouraging to you. So don't look at who's with you, who's left you, who's abandoned you. Don't keep allowing that situation to live in your head, as we say, rent free. Find yourself to be in a position to seal off anything and everything that could be a hindrance. Get healed so that when God opened up doors, no man can shut them. Now, a lot of times we like to say that God, and I'm getting ready to get off because I got to get some rest before the first segment of the conference. But we like to say what God opened up doors that no man can shut and closed doors that no man can open. A lot of times it's not the man on the outside, but it is the man in the mirror. That's it. It's not the man far as that person or that person. A lot of times it is the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror, the individual that you see. God, don't allow me. God, open up doors that I can't open and close doors. Close those doors. Close those doors of my past. Anything that can be a hindrance to my future, don't allow me to get in the way. And that's why we on the road, y'all. I got to get off. But I definitely want to show you. I am so excited. Z and Z Creations, they are just an awesome, awesome, awesome design, creation. I just don't know the work of hands. I don't know what to say about her, but she is off the hook. She is awesome. So not only does she do everything for us here at Kingdom Living Ministries and for my company, Kingdom Producers International, but she does things for everybody in the community. So it's just so much, and I can't wait to start posting her information here. But anyway, I want to show you one of the things that is going to be in their bags. They gave me mine, so I'm going ahead and show y'all. Ain't she pretty? Told this is the face. This is the face. This is the face of Unrobe. I told you I'm not playing. I mean business. And for those of you who know me, know that I do business. Look, the face, the notebooks, so that the people can, so they can write down some stuff. There's so much more. I'm not going to share it, but I just want you to know. Oh, I gotta show you my badge. Hold on. So if you want anything done, I know she's booked, but it's. So look at my badge. Look at the conference. Then on the back, let me get it straight. I have unrolled. So yeah, we mean business. I mean, if you know me, if you really know me, not know of me, but if you really know me, you know I'm all about the kingdom and the kingdom business. All right. So I'm going to try to share the link for the interview. Um, for the first time being on TV, I'm very humbled and just grateful for the opportunity, even if it had to come by the way of going to a new state, which lines up to a lot of the teaching that I give. Sometimes you have to go somewhere else to be appreciated. Okay. Sometimes you have to go somewhere else because sometimes people don't want what you have until it's not available anymore. Right. But I say all that with good talk and I'm excited. I'm excited. So, to the Kingdom Living Ministries family, God bless you. Thank you for allowing me to be who I am and trusting the vision and trusting just the work that God has given us. We have a lot to do. For those of you, my family locally, God bless you. Y'all know me. So God bless you and thank you for loving me unconditionally. So I'm just excited, y'all. This is just so much, but I'm excited because not for what God is doing to me or through me, but I'm excited because this is going to change our family, y'all. This is how big this is. It's not about me coming up to New York or going to some of these other states. It's not about that. It's not about just planting. It's about providing a solution to someone's problem. Not only do I do it in business, but I do it in ministry. And that's what I'm excited about. All right. All right. I've showed you some of the stuff that It's in our bags, y'all. It's so much I could just brag on, and I'm going to brag because we started with nothing, and we're working our way up. So I'm grateful for God and His people. Again, I'm going to try to post up the link so that you can view it. I will put it on our church page, Kingdom Living Ministries NC, as well as our YouTube page. Y'all, please subscribe to it. I tell you what, if you do subscribe to our YouTube page, we have, y'all, listen, I've been working. Kingdom Living Ministry, the team, the people who's with me, we've been working. And I'm going to share this with you. We have launched um, a fragrance just for Unrobe. Yes, a fragrance just for Unroll. So we will be releasing that tonight, and also we'll be giving it out to those who have participated in the conference. And I tell you what, if you will subscribe to the YouTube, then I will make sure, and then you'll send me a message with your information. I will make sure that we get you our new fragrance, and everything is geared to Unroll. And I believe that when you smell it, those who get the scent tonight and they get the bottle, the roll on, the oil when they get home, I believe the way the body works is just remind them of that experience that they experienced during the conference. Okay, and we just thank God for the total healing, for the total deliverance, all right, the total healing and the total deliverance. All right, so you can check out our website at www.kingdomlivingmen.org. And again, go to our YouTube page, type in Kingdom Living Ministries NC, subscribe. Once you subscribe, send me a message, let me know that you did and your information, and I will make sure that we will deliver it to you by mail or I will personally deliver it to you. Listen, they're already talking about the smell. And if you know me, you know that I like to smell good, right? So we wanted to make sure that this fragrance will be like none other. Okay, so nobody can say, "Oh, that smells good. I got something like it," or "I have something." No, you don't, unless you have unrobed. All right, that's the only way you're going to smell good or smell on this level. You have to unrobe. All right. God bless you, Rochester, New York. We're here. Thank you for the warm welcome, and we thank God for what He's going to do. All right, we won't record tonight. I don't think so. I have to make sure. If we don't, I know for a fact we won't record the actual session for Unrolled, the part that I play, the teaching from the other teachers, the other ministers. I'm not for sure, but for my part, we won't record, and that's because I am not in the business of embarrassing people. Um, During their vulnerability. Okay. So we don't want that to be exposed. This is why we would do all other coverages outside of the vulnerability because I don't want anything to hinder people's healing. All right. So again, God bless. I'm excited. I'm going to send a link to the to so that you can watch the broadcast. I'm excited. And y'all, again, when you see like T, my armor bearer, my daughter, Takara, Sherry, my Aunt Sherry, y'all, thank them because they have really kept me in good hands here while we're doing what we're doing. All right. So thank God for the team. Thank God for those who were not able to travel with us. But yeah, I'm going to give honor where honor is due. And I thank God for them. To everybody else who is making Unroll possible, Dot, um, God, to Poppy, everybody. I feel like I'm doing a speech because I'm going to get an award. Maybe I'm speaking prophetically. I don't know. But nevertheless, I thank God and I believe in giving people their roses, their flowers while they're here. So I thank God for everything that people are doing. Those up here in New York who have made this easy for me. May have been challenging and work for them, but it's been easy for me. And that's what I'm talking about. Make it easy so I can come up here and minister and go on to the next place. All right. God bless you. That's on the road. On the road. You don't have to expose me. I will expose myself. God bless you. We'll see you. Um, Sunday, we will try to record it. I will be speaking while I'm up here at another church. So we will be at the Church of Provision, Dr. Harris Church. So I'm looking forward to being in an unfamiliar place, unfamiliar territories, but I thank God that only God could do it. All right. So we'll see you. Have a good one, you all. Let's unroll.